The modern person has more financial tools than any generation in history. Budgeting apps, investment dashboards, credit score trackers, expense categorizers, net worth calculators. Each one offers a number, a graph, a sense of order. The feeling these tools produce is mastery. The user opens the app and sees their money organized, labeled, contained. Control appears to have been achieved. But the control is over the display, not the substance. Watching a number rise on a screen is not the same as influencing what that number does. The interface gives feedback. It does not give power. Real financial leverage sits in places these tools cannot reach. It sits in tax structures, in credit access, in ownership of productive assets, in the ability to move capital across jurisdictions. None of this appears on the dashboard. What appears instead is a curated subset of personal data. Spending categories, savings rates, a credit score that measures compliance with a lending system, not freedom from it. The metrics shown are the metrics that can be measured, not the metrics that matter. The person checking their budget app feels engaged with their finances. The feeling is real. The engagement is not. Engagement requires the ability to act on what is seen. The dashboard shows that 90% of income is consumed by fixed costs, but offers no mechanism to change those costs. The chart reveals the pattern without altering it. This is the function of the tool. It converts a structural problem into a personal observation. The user is given visibility in exchange for the assumption that visibility is the same as influence. Influence operates on a different layer. It belongs to whoever sets the price of housing, the rate of interest, the conditions of employment, the rules of taxation. The user sees the consequences of these decisions arranged neatly in their app. Watching consequences is not the same as shaping causes. The graph trends downward. The user adjusts a category. The underlying conditions remain untouched. Movement on the screen is mistaken for movement in the world. The illusion is sustained by the precision of the numbers. A budget accurate to the cent feels like control. The accuracy is genuine. The control is not. Precision describes the situation. It does not change it. This is why financial literacy, as commonly taught, leaves the structure intact. It teaches the user to read the dashboard. It does not teach the user how the dashboard was built, who built it, or what was deliberately left off. What is left off is consistent. The mechanisms by which wealth compounds without labor. The legal structures that shield income from taxation. The networks through which opportunities are distributed before they are advertised. These do not appear in the app. They do not appear because they cannot be tracked by the user. They are not personal data. They are systemic conditions, and the tool is designed for personal data only. The boundary of the tool becomes the boundary of the user's perceived world. What the app shows is treated as the full picture. What the app omits is treated as if it does not exist. This is how perception of control replaces actual control. The user is not deceived by a lie. The user is occupied by a truth so narrow that it crowds out the larger truth surrounding it. Time spent optimizing the visible field is time not spent questioning its limits. Every hour categorizing expenses is an hour not asking why expenses are structured this way. The tool does not forbid the question. It simply absorbs the attention that would have asked it. Attention is the resource being managed. The dashboard does not just display finances, it allocates focus. Focus directed inward at personal behavior is focus directed away from the conditions that determine what personal behavior can achieve. Inward focus produces a particular kind of citizen, one who believes their financial situation is the result of their choices, measured by their tools, improvable through their discipline. The framing is comforting because it is actionable. The framing is also incomplete. Choices operate within constraints. Discipline operates within structures. The tool measures the choice and ignores the constraint. When the constraint tightens, the user blames the choice. The app reinforces this by showing where money was spent, never showing why the cost of living rose. The interface points the finger inward by design. This is not a malfunction. A tool that pointed outward, that mapped systemic forces against personal outcomes, would produce different conclusions. It would also produce different behavior. The current tools produce the behavior the system requires. The behavior required is continued participation. A user who feels in control continues to engage with the system that grants the feeling. A user who recognizes the absence of control might begin to look elsewhere. Looking elsewhere is what the dashboard prevents. Not through prohibition, but through saturation. The screen is full. There is always another category to refine, another number to improve, another notification to address. The full screen is the mechanism. As long as the user is occupied with the visible, the invisible operates without scrutiny. The metrics are not the trap. The completeness of the metrics is the trap. A person who feels they have already mapped their financial life has no reason to suspect a larger map exists. The tool does not need to hide the larger map. It only needs to feel sufficient. Sufficiency is the achievement of the modern financial interface. It satisfies the desire for understanding without delivering it. The user logs out feeling informed, and the conditions that shape their finances remain exactly as they were. Want to see the hidden rules shaping money, power, and human behavior? Subscribe to Unseen Forces.